He allows a new problem to arise that the old style cannot address. I feel my time coming.
We champions.
And Jesus answered them saying, the hour is come.
What it do? Say what it is. Come take a seat. Say who you is. Say what you do. Say what's your gift. What's your truth? Just keep it real. When I speak to you, tell me what it do. And when I come through, tell me what it do. You got something I can use, tell me what it do. Let your gift be the proof, tell me what it do. Whether you do your dance and you get the scene with a flash, you can count it up, just do the math. And when you show them your gift and what it do, just let them know you need your check in advance. For what it's worth, I am the man. When I hit the jet, they know my name. I eat in places where they don't understand what I speak, but they know who I be. That's cause my gift is the mirror for me. If you just come and see what you can be. If you just shine, you can be what they seek. You can be what they need. You can be what he speaks from the top of your head to the soul underneath. They be jacking the flow and that's so unique. Yeah, they be digging me, but there's precious stones in my underground. Press through the pressure, now it's diamond cut to my crown. Look through the mirror and clear what I saw. Search for him and now I can reflect what I found. Woo. Pick up the ball, you make up the clean up that flaws. Let the beat press record, watch them pause. Keep them in all. You ain't gotta flex when you strong. If that we can turn them off when you on. Straight wake them out of naps, new cone. Then they give a new dog a new bone. When they die, they get themselves a new bread that you own. Show me what you home. Say what it is. Come take a seat. Say who you is. Say what you do. Say what's your gift. What's your truth. Just keep it real. When I speak to you, tell me what it do. And when I come through, tell me what it do. You got something I can use, tell me what it do. Let your gift be the proof, tell me what it do. Whether you do your dance or you catch a scene with a flash, you can count it up, just do the math. And when you show them your gift and what it do, just let them know you need your check in advance. I am original, that's why they copy. Can't carry my old juggernaut, ain't no stopping the master my craft. You gon' need a lobotomy, so out of space gave a map to the stars. That's why they follow me, hold up the level. I'm pressing the pedal with no need for gas and the flow is electric. Big Frankenstein, how I put it together. You ain't never seen this type of beat. Whole new breed with a whole new preach. You can blame it on God, he let me off the lead.
Yeah. What it do, people? It is Monday night. It's about 10:06, and so you know what that means. It is time for spiritual therapy. We are ready for episode 2 of the official podcast, Spiritual Therapy. Remember, we're just kind of building the foundation. We're just starting to rev the engines. We're just starting to activate and initiate the initial community. This is our second, our second installment. This is our second episode. We got so much more to do. We got a lot to build toward, but we're going to be consistent. All right. So it's really good to see you all. It's Monday night. It's 10 p.m. and it's time to get into it. Before we get started, of course, I got to greet you all. I got to say what's up to you. What it do, everybody? Teresa, I see you. It's so good to see you. Happy birthday again. Can't wait to connect. Can't wait to communicate with you, but it's so good to see you. I see Brandon in the building. Nathan is in the building. Mike, is good to see you. I wish you was here. I love you. Been praying for you. Ursula, Shakia, is good to see you. Kenny, is good to see you. Erica Phillips, LJ, is good to see you. Flatina, I got your seed. I love you, daughter. I appreciate you. Your support is like clockwork. All right, so I appreciate it. It's good to see you, Jennifer. Tabitha, is good to see you. Assyria, Christina, Dorina, Laddie, it's good to see Isaiah in the building. It's good to see Sonia. Ashley, is good to see you. Cheyenne and Andre. Christy, is always good to see you. Thank you so much for everything you add to the house. Ashley, is good to see you. Susan and Shaquana. It's good to see all y'all. Come on in, get situated. Come on, get comfortable. Do me a favor. Before we start, if you're on Facebook, I need you to go ahead and share this. If you're on YouTube, you can do the same thing, share the link. But go ahead, text somebody, tell your friend, tell your mama, tell your uncle that spiritual therapy is going live. I'm going to give you guys about 3 minutes before we start our hot topics, because we do have hot topics. Do I got a siren? I think I got All right, we do have hot topics. All right, so we want to be ready for our hot topics. We want to get ready for the hot topics. We got some we want to talk about tonight, and we're going to have a good time. So let's go ahead. Let's get our community in the building. You guys are already coming in, but I want you guys to go ahead and share it with somebody. Do me a favor tonight. I want you to tag somebody in the chat. Somebody that you feel like needs a word, somebody that needs encouragement. We're going to be talking about the pitfalls, the cliffs. We're going to be talking about the traps that every creative must navigate, that every creative must overcome, that every creative must master. Last week, we started a conversation on mastery, and we even continued that conversation into spiritual therapy after dark, which is only available from our Patreon. Guess what? Our Patreon is live. It is available. You can sign up right now. Y'all, it is only $19.99 a month. That's $20. You pay that at a valet. You pay that as a tip. You pay that as an appetizer. $20 ain't a lot for you to have backstage access, around the clock access, all access to my life. And guess what? We're not just going to have content where we teach, where we disciple, where we impart, where we share. I think I'm gonna do some other stuff. I want to turn it almost into like a reality TV thing. I know me and you ain't talked about that. You know what I mean? But like them following me different places, you know what I mean? I want to show them what my hair looks like before I get a haircut. You know what I mean? I want to take it. No, I want to take them behind the scenes. Yeah, for real. But you're gonna have to pay for that. You're gonna have to pay for that level of access. All right. But I want to take you behind the scenes. Y'all are crazy. All right. Because number one, they don't think it's my hair. Number two, I want to show them that this is my hair. Right, that I don't have to have a haircut to look good. All right, I just do this because I'm on TV a lot, I'm on camera a lot, and 4K don't play no games. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I do what I do. But whatever you do, what you do, I don't care. I mean, if y'all want to talk about that, we can talk about that. We can talk about eyelashes. We can talk about fake nails. We can talk about lips. That ain't the color of your lips. Nude and red. That ain't the color of your lips. Right? We could talk about what do you call it? Contacts. I remember I dated a girl in high school. She was dark skinned with green eyes. I thought I had hit the lottery. Lies. You understand what I'm saying? And my thing is, we have women that their entire cosmetic, routine is just a lie. But then if a man, whatever, but they are coming out with both plastic surgery for men. You can get some extra inches in your knees now. Yeah, you can get taller now. All right, you can get taller. The only thing is if you get taller, but your feet still the same size, like do you not have balance? You understand what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. Once you start lying, you got to keep lying. Once you start augmenting one part of your body, you got to start augmenting some other stuff. So we're blessed that we love the way God made us, and I pray that you love the way God made you. And if there's any part of you that you're not comfortable with, hey. It's all right. Everybody got something funny about them. Everybody got something weird about them. It's okay. Embrace it. All right. The better you embrace it, the more you'll be able to walk confidently in it. And other people will be able to receive you as well. It's hard for people to receive insecure people because it makes us think something we don't know about your own self. You follow what I'm saying? So be confident. But yeah, so there's all this stuff happening, and I want to get ready to get into hot topics. Before we do that, I got a couple of things I want to do. I want to do a food review. And I want to do a book review. I want to do a food review and I want to do a book review. But before we do this, come on, one more time. Let's take 30 seconds to share this. Our numbers are going up. Let's go ahead and share this. Tag somebody in it. It's about to be awesome. All right, we're going to break some glass ceilings today as we get into our lesson, as we get into our conversation. Hear me. We're about to come right back with some hot topics. All right. But before that, we're going to do a food review and we're going to do a book review. So take a couple of moments and hear a word from our sponsors. And since we don't have any sponsors, you're going to hear a word from me. Guess what? Did you know that our Patreon is now available? You can go to patreon.com/it'sapostleb and you can sign up today. $19.99 for an all access backstage pass into my life as we deal with raw, real life, in your face discipleship topics that we think is going to enhance you in every area of your life. All right. Let's do another commercial. October 5th through the 7th, right here in Atlanta, Georgia. If you are a creative, a singer, a dancer, a preacher, a speaker, a motivational speaker, a comedian, an actor, I want you to meet me here in Atlanta, October 5th 6th, and 7th this year, 2023, for Create 23. All right. It's called The Evolution of the Creative. We have guests, artists, podcasters, presenters, panelists. We have some of the greatest speakers of our generation that are going to come, pour into you, activate your gifts and your confidence, and teach you how to walk in your creativity. I would love for you to be my special guest. All right. This coming October 5th through the 7th, registration is already up and available. Go to embassychurchatl.com, find more information, or go to the link in my bio. And I'd love to see you there. All right, we're almost breaking 100 people, 100 viewers. It's good to see you guys. And I want to make sure I say this as well. Our podcast is now available on iTunes, on Apple Music. Is it Apple Music or Apple Podcast? Apple Podcasts. So the podcast is now available on Apple Podcasts. We want you to subscribe because we want to increase our followers and increase our subscribers. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. All right, so let's start off. Guess what I got for y'all real quick. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of crumble cookies. Y'all ever heard of this? Let me make sure I get it focused. Focus. Y'all see this? Y'all see this? I want to make sure they can see this. We about to do something. What do they call it? ASMR? You got that voice. He used to work for a call center. Why your voice so deep, man? I feel funny. He started talking. I feel funny. I'm like, shut up. You don't talk tonight. All right. Why his voice so? Yeah, I keep wanting to be like he's single, but you're not single. So I'm about to hook you up. Okay, so we got crumble cookies, and make sure this is in. So we're gonna do some ASMR. All right, I want y'all to hear it. But can y'all do me a favor? Can we get? I got some plastic silverware in one of those drawers. If you can find that and get me, if we got a plate or something like that. I ain't gonna be able to eat all of them. So I want to. I'm gonna have to touch them, but give me a napkin too. Yeah. All right. It's good to see y'all. What it do, Jasmine? As people come on in, I definitely want to make sure that I greet you. It's good to see you, Danielle, Shaquana. It's good to see you, Kalika. Erica, it's good to see you. Darina and Ashley, Christina. Good to see all y'all. All right, come on. Let's get into this food review real quick. And you got me a silverware, right? All right. All right, so let me show y'all what we're working with first. This is crazy. Oh, man. And yeah, we got to eat this for real, though. Because, I mean. So the first one we got, and I'm touching them with the napkin, so y'all don't have to be worried or whatever. So the first one we got is, this is called like milk. Let me see. Yeah, milk craze. That's what they call it, milk craze. I want to make sure it focuses. Come on, focus. Yeah. Milk craze. And it has rice. What do you call these things? Fruity Pebbles. It has Fruity Pebbles on it. Fruity Pebbles on it. That's the first one we got. All right. We're going to try that one. The second one we got, should I try them as we go, or I'll just try them as well? You got to surprise them with the next top shots. All right. So the first one I'm going to taste is the Fruity Pebble one. This is crazy. So this is, it's so funny because I watch people do food reviews, and the thing I hate when they do this is when they put it in front of the camera and they put I can't do it. Ah! They be like, have you seen this? Because it helps it focus. Because right now it's hard for it to focus on. So if you put your hand behind it, it does that. So dang, I wish I had me some milk or something like that. But this is the milk glaze with the Fruity Pebble. I gotta rebuke diabetes, man. I don't like it. I don't like it. When you first eat, all right. Now y'all taste it. I'm gonna put it on the plate. Here. Just you cut your piece, take it, and give it to Brandon. Give it that. Give me water, man. No, this not this. I need water. Oh man. Yeah, that one. When you first bit into it, you got the Fruity Pebble. But the name of the cookie is Milk Glaze. So after you start tasting, you forget about the Fruity Pebble. All you taste is like milk. Thank you, man. This is ASMR. We got to. I ain't gonna lie. That was nasty. That cookie was not. That wasn't a movie. All right, let's go to the next one. So the next one I'm excited about. I need more towels, man. I need more paper towels. The next one we got is now this one right here. Yeah. This right here. Don't put that over. Don't put that over there. All right. Bro, are you snorting over behind the camera? All right, the next one we got is, y'all, this right here, churro. Churro. I want to make sure they see this. I'm so excited to try this one right here. This is cinnamon. Let me get that plate. This is churro right here. All right. I'm gonna cut it. Andre. All right, so this one is churro. I'm just gonna take I like the edges. So if it's crispy, so I got it. All right, we tasting it. All right. I gotta make sure I'm ASMR. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Here we go. Because if I talk loud and I'm this close to the mic, it's gonna be too loud for they hear. The closer you get, you gotta whisper. Hear me. Whatever that stuff is on top, I would lather Patrice with that. Y'all ain't ready for me. That stuff right there, keep that away from me. All right. Now, while they try that, I got two more, but I'm not going to try both. All right. The next one I got is just a regular chocolate chip cookie. So I'm not going to try that one. That's one I'm probably going to eat all by myself at home. You can see that. Make sure you see how amazing that chocolate chip cookie looks. You see that? Yeah, that churro. Yes. I'm a cinnamon person. I'm a cinnamon-holic. All right. So that right there. So I'm not going to try this one. But the last one we got, which is I'm most excited about. All right. This is the last one we got, which I'm most excited about. Then we're going to do our book review. We're going to get into our hot topics. All right. Now, this one feels really flimsy. All right, y'all. But this is blueberry and just, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, it's dripping, y'all. It's dripping. I but you can see it right there. There it is. Blueberry. Look at that. Oh, come on now. There it is. All right. It's called blueberry cheesecake. Blueberry cheesecake. And I ain't gonna lie. The moment I saw this, I said, Lord help me. I said, this type of stuff is crazy. I mean, for real. I saw it and this is what I need. This is what I need. I need a all hail the blueberry. All right. So that's what I got. Let's try it. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm a foodie. I respect food. All right. I think about food spiritually. I think about food philosophically. When I choose a restaurant, I do a deep dive. I do research, not just on the restaurant, but I'm talking about on the executive chef, on the sous chef, on who created the restaurant, what the menu is, how they get their ingredients. I'm a foodie. I can tell I'm in a room with people that are not foodies because they keep giving me the same knife to cut these different types of cookies with, not knowing that you mixing flavors. And if I'm gonna mix the flavor, then what's the point? What's the point? Thank you. What's the point? I'm destroying my palate and my taste buds. Be better. Andre. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Ooh. All right, you know what? I'm gonna do something. As a spiritual father, I don't always get an opportunity to kind of, enforce my spiritual fatherness, but I'm gonna have somebody else try this. One of y'all try this first. Because y'all know I don't do fruit on my stuff, and it looks good, but I'm gonna, and make sure you taste it with one of the little blueberry balls in there. Wait.
Pause.
Try with one of the blueberry balls.
Pause.
You like it? It's like that? All right, I'll try it. I'll try it. I'm gonna try it with the compote. I ain't trying it with the balls.
Whoa! Pause. Major pause.
It's good. It's good. This is too much sugar, man. This is too much sugar. I feel my body about to shut down. All right, y'all. Let's move on. All right. Andre. Thank you, man. All right. So now that we got diabetes, jeez, man, that was woo. Let me get some water. That deserves a pause.
Whoa! Pause. Major pause.
All right. But anyway, it's good to see y'all. I want to give you guys some book reviews. We're about to get into our hot topics. We only got like 2 hot topics today, so it's not going to take us a lot of time to get through that. But real quick, I got a few books that I think are going to revolutionize your life, a few books that are going to enhance your study and enhance your spirituality. And I want to get in the habit. I want to make it a tradition that whenever we have our podcast, we also do our book reviews. First book review, Seer Activations. If you're a prophet, if you're creative, if you're a dreamer, a visionary, this is a book for you. It is by Jennifer LeClaire. It is called Seer Activations. You'll love this book. One of my favorite books in the entire world, The Mind of Jesus. This book changed my life. It gave us an inside look on Jesus's mind, what he thought, what he went through, some of his inner conversations from the time he was a child to the time he was carrying the cross. It's a really, really amazing book. I'll wait for this one. This will be another time. The Hidden Dimension. I just utilized this book as the foundation for a study. I'm utilizing this book as the foundation for a series that I'm doing. We just concluded the series called The American Jesus. In a couple of weeks, I'm starting a series called Give Me Some Space. And this is the foundation for that book. Of course, the scripture, but this is the foundation for that book. And it's called The Hidden Dimension by Edward T. Hall. All right. I tell everybody to get this book. It's kind of a cheat code, but hey, I think that it would enhance your life. And whenever the Lord gives us stuff, I like to make sure that you guys know it as well. You'll be surprised. A lot of pastors, a lot of leaders, they hide their resources because they don't want you to have the same information that they have. All right. So I make sure that whatever I read, you know what I'm reading, so you can read it as well. This is a phenomenal book. All right. It's called The Expanded Panorama Bible Study Course. And you can get this book on Amazon. It's a really, really good book. It takes you from Genesis to Revelation, breaks down the entire story of the scripture. And it's really, really good. And lastly, for today, Robert Greene has a book called The Daily Laws. The Daily Laws. This is a phenomenal book. 365 meditations every single day is amazing. From everything from discovering your call, never appear too perfect. That's a law, right? It says never appear too perfect. It takes great talent and skill to conceal one's talent and skill. Oh, that's so good. It takes great talent and skill to conceal one's talent and skill. See, our generation, we want to tell everybody the depth of our potential and the depth of our skill, but sometimes it's about hiding that. So I love this. Play your role well. Never impugn people's intelligence. The inner antenna. I mean, it's some really, really good stuff. I think you would love it, and it breaks it down daily, so it's not too much to read or too much to consume. All right, so let's get into our hot topic. All right, so our hot topics. We got 2 hot topics for today. Not too much, but they're still crazy. They're still good. And I think that this is going to be good. Let me find them. Oh, here we go. So, first hot topic of today is Carlee Russell. Is that her name? Carlee Russell. So this was basically a young lady named Carlee Russell was driving home from work. She was on the interstate, and she apparently saw like a toddler walking on the side of the road. She stopped. She called the police. They have her police call where she pretty much it seems like she's frantic. She's saying, you know, there's a child on the side of the road, so forth and so on. One of her friends said that she called them and that they heard her talking to somebody like a child, like, hey, where are you from? Why are you here? All this different kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden she went missing. All right. And she was missing. Do y'all remember how many days? She was missing for some days, a few days. And then all of a sudden, after social media kind of goes in an uproar, all of a sudden she shows up at her parents' house, knocking on the door. And there's so many conspiracy theories. There's so many kind of conversations, stories. There's so many arguments that are being had as to what happened to her. People are asking me, what do you think happened? You know, number one, you know, kidnapping or kidnappers usually want something. Right? You know what I mean? Like, hey, we're going to kidnap you and now we want some money. And usually if you're going to do that, you're going to kidnap somebody that got money, right? You're not going to kidnap somebody from the hood because people from the hood don't usually got that money. So I don't necessarily think it was kidnappers. And then you got the whole sex trafficking or child trafficking or whatever the case may be. Maybe they want to take her and they want to drug her, use her as a prostitute, whatever the case may be. And that is legitimate. That's real. And they do bait, especially women, with toddlers and with children because they know that, you know, they're going to stop. I'm just trying to think that if she stopped and there was a toddler, was there another car around where there were people, or did another car pull up? You know what I mean? And then they're like, oh, maybe they're thinking, oh, maybe she's thinking maybe this is the parent. And then they get out and they, you know, they snatch her or whatever the case may be. And then all of a sudden, maybe they hear the news, maybe they're watching social media, maybe they hear the reports and they're like, this is too much heat. Let's go ahead and let her go. Because it takes a lot to keep somebody in your basement for a long time. You know what I mean? And, you know, it takes a lot. So, I don't necessarily know. You know, some people say, you know, do you think that she was with friends? You know, what type of, you know, scheme or what type of game was this? You know, I'm going to be honest. For me, it seems legitimate. Now, I'm going to say you this. Some people said, how did the people know where she lived? They asked her. How they just drop off at her house? Maybe it was her friend. I'm like, she in the car, so she could always tell them, you know, where she lives. So I don't think that's, you know, an issue. And again, you never know. It could have been boyfriend stuff, gang related. It's a lot of stuff that it could be. And you know what's surprising is that so many people are having conversations about what it could be, what happened to her, is it real, is it fake, other than just being grateful that the girl is alive, right? Nobody died. I want to know where the baby at though. I want to know where is the child, right? Because if it was a child on the side of the road, where the child now? Child just disappeared. So yeah, we got to get a little bit more information. We're praying that the cops are interviewing, investigating. But the best thing is that she is home, she is safe, and eventually we're going to hear from her, right? Eventually we're going to have some type of testimony, some type of interview where she tells us her firsthand account. But I will say this, within the subject of abductions, y'all, the world is dark. I don't think sometimes we understand how dark the world is, how crazy the world is, how scary the world is, especially for those of us in ministry or in the church. Sometimes we're insulated and isolated, and we don't know how crazy these people are. It is crazy out there. So we're praying for Carlee Russell. We're praying for her her restoration, her safety. We're praying that everything is good with her. And so we're praying for that. I'm watching the chat to see what y'all think. It's dark. It is dark. Y'all look, I'm talking about sex trafficking, child trafficking. You talking about drugs, gangs, cartels. You follow what I'm saying? I remember hearing, I remember 2002 to 2005. I don't know if y'all remember the beheading videos. Right? When we first started going after ISIS and we first started going after Saddam Hussein and Al-Qaeda and so forth and so on, they would capture Americans or people that they were pretending to be Americans. And they literally had videos of them beheading them. And again, on most of the videos, they paused it, blah, blah, blah. But you could go on the dark web. You could go on the internet and see some of these videos, right? From school shootings. I remember there was a school, there was the man that shot up the supermarket. He went live. He went live, and the live video was still out there. The live video was on Twitter. It was on Reddit. You could watch the live. I watched the live video for probably like 15 seconds because you saw him, because he was wearing a body cam or like as his live video. So he got out, he shot a lady who was like putting her groceries up, and then he walked in and he just started shooting people. And this is live. This is like real life, real time trauma. The world is dark. I mean, from the Chinese black market where they sell organs, they sell children, people, organs. They capture people just to get their organs, and then they either kill them or drug them, whatever the case may be. The world is dark. That's why if you still have an anemic prayer life, you should repent. That's why if you still have an inconsistent worship life, you should repent, right? If you still have not given God your entire life, accepted your call, if you have still not stepped over into your purpose, into your destiny, into your assignment, you should repent. Because every day that goes by that you don't do what God has called you to do, somebody else suffers from the darkness of this world. Every day that Moses does not answer the call is another day of slavery that Israel has to endure. Answer your call. That's all I'm gonna say about that, because I ain't got time to get into that. Answer your call. All right. So we got the Carlee Russell thing. Next hot topic, AI. So everybody's on this Remini app. Y'all heard of the Remini app? Hear me. First of all, let me say this. This Remini app helping some of y'all. I'm talking about, I saw somebody post pictures. I didn't even know it was them. I said, you talking about who is it? You want me to say? You haven't heard of it? So, yeah, so AI. Yeah, so the Remini app is basically like you can take photos, it changes your whole body, but you can also change photos as well. Let's say you have a photo that's not sharp enough or blurry, you can use the Remini app to like sharpen stuff. So some people are using it just as a photo editing software, but a lot of people are using it for AI, and they changing their body. I'm talking about for real. And my thing is, it's so realistic that people are using it for profile pictures, for headshots. They're using it for job interviews and all this different kind of stuff. And it is crazy, because it's making some of y'all look fine, and you ain't a bit more fine. Come on, y'all. I gotta hear the. I don't know if they can hear the cars, the braking, but we need a heavy alarm. We need something. That's no, seriously. No, I'm gonna tell y'all, this is a hot topic. All right. I don't want to get off subject. So there's a makeup artist, and she just went viral because what she's going around and doing, whether it's homeless people or just, people that, are aesthetically challenged, they're going around to people and they are doing makeovers. But when I tell you the makeovers look scary, I'm talking about she's taking homeless people and they do the makeup, And these people, do y'all know what I'm talking about? Please put in the chat if y'all know what I'm talking about. If y'all know, because I saw it on Instagram, man, I wish I would have saved it. Let me see if I saved that. Because that thing scared the living Jesus out of me. Because if you see the before and out, there it is. Ah! Hold on. Okay, so look at this. Do you see that? Swipe. Somebody swipe this for me. Well, I'll do it. I got you. Look at the next one. This should be illegal. Look at this one. Look at this one.
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
Wait. Look at this one. She don't even look like the same person. Look, that don't look like the same person, y'all. That is scary. Women should not be able to do this. Because if I meet you and you look like the one on this side, if you look like the one that looked good, and then I get home and you wash your face. Ah! No, y'all. Come on, look at this one. This is bananas. We got one more. One more. It's just the camera got closer, Andre. Her head didn't get bigger. We talking about the makeup, man. We ain't talking about the side. Andre said her head got bigger. Y'all, we got to talk about this. What can men do? Like, see, this is why men got to lie about their money, because that's the only thing we got. We ain't going to talk about the other stuff we got to lie about. We're going to talk about that after dark. Men just got to lie. Like, what are we supposed to do with that? You tell me. Now, let me ask y'all a question for real, and I need y'all to answer me in the chat. So let's say I go to a church, I go to a club, I go to a restaurant, and I see a woman in her glory, in her beauty. She got her hair done, she got her makeup, she got eyelashes, everything, right? But she knows, and her friends know, that underneath the makeup, she's a booger wolf. They know now. Does she have the responsibility to tell me that when there's a full moon? Does her friends have the responsibility? Now this is it. Tell me. This is serious. Does her friends have the responsibility to tell me, to warn me? Come on, y'all, put it in the chat. I just want to let you know before we go out. I peel my face off at night. My face melt. Somebody said the first date need to be at a pool or. Come on, y'all saw Sha'Carri Richardson? Sha'Carri, you know the track star. So you saw her. I don't know if you saw her before her. So she was about to race in the 100 meter, whatever. She actually won it, but before she did it, she took off her wig. This, I don't know if we need to blame. What's her name? The girl who was preaching here, woman of God, Sarah Jakes. I don't know if we need to blame Sarah Jakes. When she was preaching here, I was like, is she gonna take her? I started thinking, I want to take something off or something like that. You know what I mean? But I just feel like if I did, you know what I mean? Like if I started taking my shirt off, I was like, hey, wait a second. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. But 100%, what could a man take off and be respected? I mean, I guess it's tie, man take off their tie, whatever the case may be. So my poll to the men, If you meet a female and she looks beautiful and you go out with her and maybe y'all do go to the pool, you ain't taking her home because you saved, right? So you ain't taking her home. But let's just say one day you meet her on an off day, right? You go over her house. She ain't got her makeup on. She comes to the door. You know, you were expecting, you know, well, I don't know her name. I'm trying to think. What was Shrek's girlfriend name? Young Fiona. You was expecting Fiona before, but she became an ogre. You was expecting Fiona, but you got Shrek, right? You was expecting one thing, but you got another. How do you respond to that, right? You leaving. That's not fair. I can't commit to that. That's like, what about you? You leaving or what you gonna do? You gonna no, hear me. This is after the first kiss, maybe. Maybe this is after your heart has gotten involved, right? Or what happens is you kiss her, you passionate, you hold her, and then when you remove your hands, there's paint. Hear me, yeah. Women, come on. Hear me. Some of the hardest things as a pastor to do is hug people. My clothes be expensive. I don't be wanting to, you know what I'm saying? It's like after church, everybody want to hug you, and literally, it's like you ever seen that little cloth they say Jesus' face is on? You know what I mean? Like, you know, when he rose from the dead, they took they got his face. It's like literally, I can be like, oh, that's Susan. That's Jay. Oh, hey, she was mad because she frowned when she hugged me, and I can see the frown. But let me see what his explore page on IG looked like while we talking about this. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Your explore page usually shows you what you look at.
So when you say you want to look at his explore page, what are you looking for? What are you saying you don't want to see on his explore page? What would be a deal breaker to see on the explore page? Cheats? Oh, cheeks. But if I'm a man, yeah. I mean, if I'm a man, there's gonna be females on my, female. So you may see some females on the explore page. What would that be upset? Would you be upset if you saw females on my explore page? I'm looking. 100%. Somebody said women need to get more comfortable with what they look like in the mirror without the mask. 100%. So the face don't matter. The face do matter. Gay men content, 100%. I guess that would be something. If you saw like gay content or something like that, I think there would be a deal breaker. What else? One has nothing to do with the other. His explore page is not him falsifying his appearance. That's true. I'm not like, my explore page is pretty much there. If you want to see it, that's fine. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I can't control what people post. So if you go to my Instagram, you'll see the people I follow very, very low. I don't follow a lot of people. And that's because it's been too many times I've either been in church or somewhere else. And when I open it up, they're the first thing on my timeline. And it's not even something that I'm into like that. Like if I follow somebody that work out, like a guy, I'll follow a guy because I'm like, okay, I want to find out abs, and they doing ab thing. I didn't know he was gonna wake up in his drawers and walk around and then I'll open it up and be like, what the like what I gotta cut. I'll be like, what the is that? And then the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna unfollow it because I'm thinking if somebody see this, they're gonna be like, why? You know what type of deal. And see also this, yeah, well, let me say this. Y'all got to understand, sometimes people are utilizing social media to tell on themselves. Mm-hmm. Because I'll go to like a guy page who works out or blah, blah, but I'll see somebody who liked it. That's suspect. That's a guy, but he liking all the people that work out. He liking their stuff. And I'm like, all right, bro, now come on now. I'll watch you do the workout. I'm not liking the workout, all right? Like, I'll follow you. You show me how to do push-ups. I'm not liking it. I'm not liking it. I'm a grown man. I'm not going to like you working out. That's a rule. I can't like it, right? Even if I comment and say fire workout, I'm not gonna like it. I can't put a heart under your post. That's why I don't like none of y'all posts. You're a grown man. If it's you and your child or something, I don't like the post. For real, you be seeing them likes. Likes and follows. So you definitely got to be careful. But I will say this. In the realm of this, let's talk about this. If I am dating, let's talk about this real quick. If I am dating, all right, if you are dating a person, there should be a healthy level of sexuality, right? Like, I think sometimes as Christian, we go to opposite extremes. We're either just fornicating, lustful, doing all that, or we don't like sex, don't know what sex is, ain't talking about sex and trying to stay hot. And it's like, we have to find, I don't even want to say balance, we just have to find a place of wisdom where we embrace our sexuality, we know what it is, we understand it, we consecrate it, we protect it, but at the same time, we understand how to disciple in the area of sex and relationships and intimacy, and we're able to have consecrated, in-depth, wise conversations, spiritual conversations around the subject so that people aren't confused and they can navigate it. Most Christian children don't know what to do when it comes to sex because we don't talk about it. So we have to talk about it a lot more. And since everybody's having it, we got to talk about it a lot more. All right, folks living together, sexing and sexting and OnlyFans and meeting up and sneaky links and orgies and you know, all this different kind of stuff. I don't know what that was. Okay, I don't know what that all right. But anyway, but what we started to get into this last week when we got into our subject on mastery, and we took that even into spiritual therapy after dark. And that's what we want to get into for the next couple of minutes of our podcast. We want to talk about mastery, but more so, we want to talk about pitfalls that every creative must deal with, every creative must overcome. And we got a list of them. All right. So let's go ahead and get ready to get into this. As a creative, y'all, we deal with so much. As a creative, we deal with pressures, we deal with trauma, we deal with pain, and being able to manage that, being able to navigate that is what makes you successful. I want to tell you this, and I said this, I said this last week, but the key to ministry is perseverance. All right. There's going to be pain. There's going to be disappointment. There's going to be wars and rumors of wars. People are going to leave you and slander you, all this different kind of stuff. But one of the ways that you can stay consistent, one of the ways that you can keep your hand to the plow is perseverance. You have to survive, y'all. And I wish I could tell you the truth is everybody doesn't survive. Everybody doesn't survive their calling, their career, their purpose, their destiny. Some people die in the midst of it. And I want to make sure that you have the tools to navigate that, to be successful. And that's the purpose of spiritual therapy. So I'm going to give you guys some deeper things. I'm going to give you guys some things that may seem a little bit disconnected, but these are things that must be that you have to overcome, things that you must navigate in order to be successful as a creative. All right, come on. Depression. All right. I want you to write down darkness. You have to become a master of the dark. Depression. You have to become a master of the dark. I want to also write down isolation or being alone, because depression many times comes with seclusion. Many times. Now, I will say this, that creatives are masters at being depressed around people. All right. They won't even tell you they're depressed. They won't even tell you that they've checked out. They won't even tell you that they're upset, that they're sad, that they're frustrated, that they feel like a failure. But depression is something that every creative must deal with and must master. I remember the years of 2012 to about 2014, 15, right before we moved into 1055. I was depressed. When we were in the movie theater, when we were in 101, when we were in the house, I was depressed because I was building a ministry that seemingly was going nowhere. It wasn't growing. Nobody cared about it. Nobody cared about me. I was watching people being promoted and used, and watching people get opportunities that didn't care nothing about what they were doing, didn't pray, didn't care about God's people, were doing crazy stuff on the side. I went through that, and that was a hard moment for me. I didn't want to get out of the bed. I literally would just lay in the bed, shades closed. It would be dark. My wife would go to work, and I would literally stay in the bed and I would cry, get on social media. I hated social media because social media reminded me of who I wasn't. Social media reminded me of all the stuff God wasn't doing. And it took me a long time. And what I'm gonna tell y'all this, and this ain't for everybody, all right? Of course, mental and emotional health therapy and counseling is a great way to deal with depression. I'm gonna say another thing: working out. Exercise is a great way. When you're releasing dopamine, when you're releasing adrenaline, that's a great way to deal with depression. Of course, praise, worship, and prayer. And I know many times when you're depressed, it really hits your wheel, and you really need your will to give you the strength to praise, to worship, and to pray. So sometimes that can be a bit harder, but the scripture says, put on the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. When you can just start thanking God, and that goes back to the last one that I'm about to say. What broke my depression was me actually being grateful. What broke my depression was me focusing on what I had and me realizing that it wasn't as bad as I thought, and I wasn't exhausting the stuff I had to complain that God wasn't giving me what I prayed for. I'm a preach because that's a bar. All right. I was not exhausting what God had already given me. So I had to kind of just come to the realization, Brian, you're not doing as much as you could do with the stuff you got now. Why are you upset that God hasn't given you A, B, and C? So it really took me being grateful. It really took me doing inventory on what I already had. And that started to at least give me the strength to get out of the bed. And I'll say this is the last thing: responsibility. Hear me. It's hard. My mama was depressed, but she had children. Right? My daddy was depressed, but he had to go to work. When you have responsibility, when you have discipline, when you can put one foot in front of the other, that at least gives you the ability to continue to grow even during seasons of darkness and depression. But you got to manage the darkness. You got to manage the darkness. Y'all, next one, competition. I'm going to put competition and comparison together. Competition. Now, this is what we don't talk about a lot, is that many times in our industries, when you're dealing with competition, it's hard because you're competing with people you know. No, you're competing with friends. I mean, it's a small industry. If I'm a preacher, I got friends that are preachers. We're all kind of, and again, you don't want to think about it as competing, but there is nobody that wants to be great at their craft that doesn't want to be better than somebody else that does what they do. I don't care who you, if you Dave Chappelle, you want to be better than Kevin Hart. If you Kevin Hart, you want to be, it ain't, I just want to have my own lane. No, I won't have all the lanes. You understand what I'm saying? And I believe that when it comes to apostolic and prophetic ministry, I believe that when it comes to revelation, I believe that when it comes to creativity, I believe that when it comes to preaching, I believe that when it comes to fathers and sons and mantles, I don't believe nobody can hold a candle to Brian Meadows. So there's already this innate level of confidence and this innate level of security that anytime you start to compare yourself or see somebody else do what you do, you just think in your mind, I can do it better than that. Right? Anytime you see somebody preach, you're like, I can do it better than that. Y'all don't know this. Hear me. Sunday night, I go home. I watch everybody. I'm gonna watch their praise and worship. That's number one. Because I know I'm not saying that, maybe this is petty. I judge churches off their praise and worship. I feel like praise and worship is huge. I feel like praise and worship is big. If your praise and worship is bad, I feel like number one, you're a liar. You follow what I'm saying? If you're a pastor and the praise and worship is bad, you're a liar because you have not had a conversation with the worship leader or whoever sings telling them you can't sing. So I believe that you're a liar. A lot of times if the band is bad or if worship is bad or if the production department is bad, most likely you're cheap because you haven't spent money on it. And I got an issue if praise and worship is bad, but the pastor has on expensive clothes, I have a problem. Or if you don't have praise and worship and the pastor always got on Gucci, I got a problem because you can take some of that money and make sure that you have a quality praise and worship experience. So I judge churches off of praise and worship and I judge churches off of pastors. I got something. Yes, Lord. So this was supposed to be in a segment that we did called Read the Comments. Oh, my Lord, Lord, Lord. So I saw this. I did see this. So we're going to do a segment at some point called Read the Comments. This is not the one I'm going to show y'all, but I'm just going to show y'all a couple. This was one I saw on Facebook. This was hilarious. Let's see if y'all can read that. I know it may be hard to read. It may be hard to read. So if you can't read it, I'm going to read it. It says, Friends won't even support you, but on IG telling TD Jakes happy birthday. That thing had me dying. It said friends won't even support you, but they on Instagram telling TD Jakes happy birthday. I love the internet, man. When they created the internet, they created something so amazing. I like this one. I don't know if y'all can see this. Again, I know it may be a little bit light. Tell me if y'all can see that. Okay. People online may be able to see it. I don't know. But it says, don't come telling me nobody business. Life hard. Go help them or STFU. If you don't know what that means, research it. I like that though. Life is hard. Don't come at me telling me nobody else's business. Everybody going through something. But this is the one right here. Oh, Lord, 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 Lord. All right. The first one was this. The first one said, the greatest preacher of all time should always be ... your pastor. It's silent. Hold on, where are my crickets? Where are my crickets? Where are my crickets? It is silent. All right. So it said, the greatest preacher of all time should always be your pastor. No. Look at stop. Look at the next. I'm gonna show you the next post. Somebody reposted that. And again, y'all ain't gonna be able to see it. I'm just showing it just in case y'all go back and watch it. All right, this is what somebody reposted and said. They said, I done seen and heard some of y'all pastors preach. So I know y'all would be lying if y'all said this about them. I want to send this man an offering. The first thing I thought about when they said the greatest preacher of all time should always be your pastor, I was thinking, huh? Number one, every pastor is not the greatest preacher because pastoring and preaching are not the same thing. You have some people that are phenomenal leaders and phenomenal pastors and phenomenal counselors and phenomenal coaches and fathers, but they're not the best preachers. So for you to say that your pastor is the best preacher, I think that would be a bit disingenuous. You follow what I'm saying? So I don't think that your pastor has to be the best preacher, and I don't think that your pastor has to be the only preacher that you listen to. Now, I do believe that your pastor should be the most predominant spiritual voice in your life, and you should not listen to anybody preach more than your pastor, because your pastor is not just there to entertain you. Your pastor is there to establish doctrine and discipleship and discipline, so forth and so on, culture. So I don't think that they have the same assignment, but no, everybody's pastor is not the best preacher. And I'm gonna say what the guy said. I done seen some of y'all pastors. I done heard some of y'all pastors. All right. And no, they're not. Now, I do think that just like pastoring and preaching, that is something that you do have to work on. Where you begin is not necessarily where you have to end. It is a skill that you can grow and develop, but there are people that are just gifted for it. They're just called to it. I think I'm more gifted to preach. No, I don't think that. I was about to say, I think I'm more gifted to preach than pastor, but I don't really think that. I think as an apostle, that's where my predominant gift is, but I still think I'm a better pastor than preacher, because the systems that I come up with and the ideas and the ministries, the events, or whatever the case may be, I think that they far outweigh my ability to accurately convey the revelation that God has given me. So no, I think that I'm probably a better pastor than a better preacher, but whatever. George said, my pastor, the best preacher. I appreciate it. All right. Now, I know anybody that goes to, anybody that say, I'm not, I'll cuss them out. Yeah, I'll cuss them out. Hear me. Now, again, Sunday, I had a phenomenal time preaching, but it was still not accurate. I was probably like right around 65, at the most, maybe 73% accuracy. I'm talking about from what I saw in my mind to what I delivered. No, man. No. First of all, and I deal with a lot of this in the preacher, the artist. I got a brand new episode out. So if you don't have my app, go ahead and download my app. Come on, go ahead, get in focus. Go ahead, download my app. All right. And you can go to the preacher, the artist, and we have a brand new episode called Presentation Accuracy. All right. That's brand new on the app today. It's available right now. And we deal with that. I actually talk about what happened on Sunday. And I talk about how, how accuracy works and, trying to really hit my target and how I didn't really hit my target. I'm going to say this, and then we're going to go into a couple of other things that we need to master. And then I'm going to let y'all go. I wasn't in rebellion and I wasn't in disobedience. So I wasn't against the Lord. I wasn't fighting against the Lord in that way. But when I was creating my, my presentation, I kind of had two intros. The first intro I had was the God of upgrade. But I really didn't feel like that really established kind of how God uses different ages and different stages and different moments to interact with his people differently. So I was like, man, I need something before that. And that's what gave me the introduction of the Ancient of Days and talking about his wisdom and his eternal nature. His eternal nature, he is ageless. And since he's ageless, he works with age and ages. And so that really gave me a way to go into dispensational truth or dispensationalism, so we can understand that God, he can interact with man a certain way in certain periods, but then he can mess up the program and change how he works with people. So that's why I went through that, so that when we got to the whole upgrade and I said, hey, don't you got a phone? We all got phones, but you ain't got the last version, or you ain't got the oldest version. You got a new version. So we have a God of upgrade because he changes up stuff. So that was, and when I did that, and I want y'all to understand, I don't know what y'all do. When I was studying, after I study and I pray myself through it, I then preach it to myself and I time myself. And when I time myself, that first segment was a little too long, and it was causing me to go over time. And so I was going to edit it. Hear me. A genius can create, a master edits. All right? A genius can create, a master edits. And so you can create all this stuff, but if you can't fit it within the block of time of people's attention so they can receive it, then you create all that stuff for nothing. And so when I kept doing it, I kept hearing the Lord say, edit. But I had worked so hard on it, I was like, but I like it though. I like this. So that first part of Ancient of Days going into the seven dispensations, I should have edited that and I should have removed that and just started with industries are changing, institutions are changing. They all go through upgrade. Don't you got a phone? Don't your phone go through upgrade? He's the God of upgrade. God wants to upgrade the church. How does he upgrade? His word, relationships, problems, presence. And then I go to the history of his presence, and then I'm off to the races. But it was too much. So anyway, but see, that's what I'm saying. I'm not just up there talking. I have to pray and study and get this stuff. This is my artistry, y'all. Just like if it was a comedian, if it was a rapper or a singer, when I hit the stage, when I hit the microphone, when I get the microphone, this is my moment. I'm preparing for this. And I think you should do the same thing. But it starts with mastering certain things. Mastering, we talked about mastering. What was number one? Mastering depression, which also includes isolation. We talked about mastering, of course, with isolation being alone, but we talked about competition. And with competition, also comparison. If somebody put you side by side with your secular counterpart, would you be distinctive? Would you stand out? Would you shine? Or would your secular counterpart, with their gifts, with their skill, with their expertise, would it outshine you? I always wanted to make sure that if you put me next to anybody, that I'm going to always outshine them. All right. Whether it's my presence, whether it's my presentation, whether it's my clothes, it don't matter. I wanted to make sure that I would outshine them. It is not possible to be great and not be competitive. Right. But this is the issue. Who are you competing with? The Bible says those that compare themselves among themselves are not wise. If you're competing with people on your level, you're going to stay at the same level. The only way you are going to go from one level to the next, you have to compete with people that are far beyond where you are and who you are. Hear me. You know what? I see, and see, when we say compete, it's such a negative connotation. But I'm looking for Jake's spot. You follow what I'm saying? I don't want to be this person. No. I'm coming after, and I don't want to say coming after, you know what I mean? But if I'm looking for somebody to aspire to, if I'm looking for a level to go after, I'm not looking for anything attainable or anything achievable in my own strength. I'm looking for something crazy. Are you following me? And many of us never exhaust our potential because we're so afraid of disappointment. We're so afraid of rejection. We're so afraid of failure. We're so afraid of not reaching the place that we aspire to, that we aspire very low. But gone are the days where my desires are diminished based on my past. I want the best and I want it now. So no, I'm competitive. I want to be great at what I do. And I pray that you want to be great at what you do. Because if you don't want to be great at what you do, somebody don't need mediocre. Somebody needs excellent. And they're waiting on you to perfect your gift. So you got to master competition. It is okay to want to be better. But you also got to master comparison. And how do you master comparison? How do you make sure that you are not lost within the sea of other people that do what you do? Is by making sure that you are distinct. You have to find your lane. You have to find your niche. You have to find your mastery, your expertise, and you have to focus on that. You have to focus there. You have to put all of your attention, all of your effort there. Malcolm Gladwell gives us a phenomenal principle of the 10,000 hour rule. You cannot call yourself a master of anything that you have not dedicated at least 10,000 hours to. And that roughly equates to about 5 to 8 hours a day for about 5 days a week for about 10 years. It's like having a regular job for 10 years. If you do anything for 10 years, they qualify you as a master. And some of y'all need to stop second guessing yourself. Some of you need to stop selling yourself short. Some of you are more gifted. You're more skilled. You are more of an expert than you let on or that you would accept or admit. And it's time for you to embrace it, accept it, and God's going to open up opportunities. Your gift will make room for you and bring you into the presence of great men. All right, let's stop there. This has been episode number 2. We only on number 2. I can't wait till we celebrate our 100th episode, our 50th episode. This is just episode number 2, and it has been amazing. It's been awesome. It's been phenomenal. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We had a good time. Come on. We had an awesome time. It was really, really good. Thank you guys so much for joining. Remember, every Monday night at 10 p.m. Every Monday night at 10 p.m. Mark your calendar. Tell a friend. All right. Make sure that we fill up this place. We should have 1,000 people on this thing by the end of the year, but we need you to help make that happen. Don't forget that the podcast is now available on Apple Podcasts. We want you to go subscribe to it. We want to increase our subscribers. So, because we're going to add these, we're not going to always go live. Some of our episodes are going to be a la carte. They may not be live. So if we don't go live, we would love to make sure that you continue to get that you continue to have access to that. So please go subscribe. Do not forget October the 5th through the 7th, we have Create. If you are creative and you would like to be a part of that conference, I would love to have you in the building. October 5th, 6th, and 7th. You can go to the link in my bio. You can go to Facebook or go to Instagram, go to the link in my bio, or go to embassychurchatl.com. And the last thing is we just launched our Patreon platform. All right. So go to patreon.com/itsapostleb. It's only $19.99. Don't be cheap. Your future deserves the investment. All right. And we take you behind the scenes. As a matter of fact, we usually record an episode of Spiritual Therapy After Dark right after spiritual therapy. I may do it. I'm on break. Yeah, I'm on sabbatical, so I can do it. I may do it tomorrow after whatever. So we ain't doing it tonight. I don't know what we do. We still talking about. Oh, I can't tell them what we're talking about. Oh yeah, we're doing the spirituality of sex. That's what we're doing. We're starting a brand new series this week. If we don't drop it tonight, which we're probably not going to drop it tonight because I'm probably going to record it tomorrow. But we're starting a brand new series on our Patreon platform called The Spirituality of Sex. It's going to be really, really dope. It's going to be really, really awesome for those, especially Christians. For those of you that be like, oral sex is the devil, and masturbation and this, you need to join Patreon because I want to disciple you through some of this stuff. Because some of y'all, your grandma told you it was bad, and your grandma was doing it when she told you it was bad. All right, so we want to talk about some of this stuff. So it's good. I appreciate you guys. The Cash App is right there. If you want to sow, you want to support, you can do that. But let's go ahead. Let's hit the music and let's get ready to take them out. All right. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys next time. I love y'all. Mondays, 10 p.m.
A new problem to arise
yeah.
that the old style cannot address. I feel my time coming.
We champions.
And Jesus answered them saying, the hour is come.
What it do? Say what it is. Come take a seat. Say who you is. Say what you do. Say what's your gift. I show the truth. Just keep it real. When I speak to you, tell me what it do. And when I come through, tell me what it do. You got something I can use, tell me what it do. Let your gift be the proof, tell me what it do. Whether you do your dance and you got the scene with a flash, you can count it up, just do the math. And when you show them your gift and what it do, just let them know you need your take in advance.